Hello, and thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Tuesday, October 7th edition of our video devotionals. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope your Tuesday's going well. It's been another beautiful day here in Central North Carolina. It's fall, but as you get up in the day, it gets warm. The mornings are cool, so we're really enjoying that. And those brilliant colors will be coming soon on the leaves, very soon. So we appreciate you listening today. We always want to say thank you for any acknowledgments whatsoever. If you just watch it and we don't even know you watch it, we appreciate you. And I don't always know who are the ones, but the Lord knows. And if it's helpful to you, then that's the main thing anyway. We're in the last book of the Old Testament today, the book of Malachi. And this was a prophet that lived about 400 years before the birth of Christ. As far as what the Bible gives us, he's the last prophet that would prophesy, and then it would be 400 years and then the birth of Christ. It's a long time in, and a lot of things happen within that time period. But today we're going to look at chapter 3, and we're going to start in verse number 14, read down to verse number 17. Malachi is a very interesting book. It begins basically with God saying, look, I've done all this for you, and the people's response back is, what have you done for us? And chapter 3 talks about the tithing issue. Will a man rob God? You say, how in the world can we rob God? He says, well, you have robbed me. You've robbed me in tithes and offerings. Then you get to chapter 4, and it ends basically with the Lord speaking about how the fathers need to be turned back to the children back to the fathers. I'm going to send Elijah. And I know Elijah had already lived previously, but John the Baptist fulfilled part of that. And then, of course, we believe that in the toward the rapture period and in the tribulation period, we believe Elijah will be one of those witnesses that preaches there in Jerusalem. We believe it's going to be Elijah and Moses more than likely. But the point is, it's a very interesting book. So I want you to notice here in chapter 3 a sentiment that kind of describes the whole book in a way. And we're going to begin at verse number 14. It says, ye have said, it is vain to serve God. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? They're basically saying, what good has it come for us to serve God, really? What good has it done? I mean, for us to even to mourn before God, I mean, what advantage, what profit, what's happening, what good do we get out of it? And that's a improper attitude. Notice what further happens when you have that attitude toward God. And now in verse 15, we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are set up. In other words, put up on a pedestal, promoted. Yea, they that tempt God are even delivered. So it's sad that you can see a progression in people. When people say, like as a pastor, I say, look, walk with God, read your Bible, pray, attend all the services. You need to be a witness for Jesus. And sometimes that says, really, we need to do all of that? Do I need to attend every service? It's kind of that attitude. And what ends up happening, the people that should not be promoted, the people that should be ashamed of themselves before God because they're not right, then you've got people, even God's people, that promote the wrong ones. And that's just not right. So it comes really from the attitude toward God. That's where it begins. Notice verse 16, then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name. God says, I'm keeping record. I know who loved me. I know who's doing it for me. I know who's doing it for the right reason. Not because, there's an advantage to you, though there is, of course, the blessings of God and the favor of God. But the truth is, you do it because it's right to do, and you want to do it because of who God is. Verse 17, and they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. He says, you know what? The people that fear me, and those who pray to me, those who follow me, those who promote me, he says, you're my jewels. He says, I'm going to make up those jewels one day. You ever seen ladies or people that have, they put some treasures maybe in a particular box? My grandfather used to bring out, during Christmas time especially, he had his pocket knife collection and his pocket watch collection. Maybe some other things, but that was his big thing. And we'd look at it, ooh and on. He'd talk about where he got this one or that one. That was just kind of his little treasure. Then there's ladies who have jewelry boxes, and they've got things that have been given to them, maybe things from grandmothers or the past, or things they have purchased, maybe things that were done because of an anniversary, a birthday, whatever. But the point is, God says, I know who my jewels are. So while some people say, hey, what advantage is it to serve God and really keep that, do all of that? Well, God understands and knows why we do it. And so just think of yourself, if you're following God, doing the right thing, you're one of God's jewels. And if that's how we are to God, then that in and of itself is incentive, right? All right, we're going to stop right there, Lord willing. We'll be back tomorrow. Guess what? We're going to be in Matthew, start the New Testament. It'll be the middle part of the work week and school week, and we'll look forward to being with you. And I appreciate you watching. Have a great day.